that's the reason why we don't have this energy since a few hundred years, because nobody was foolish enough to make something that easy what I will show you now. Okay, so we start with our connection diagram. Please be careful. I show it first on the diagram and then I show it directly in the pyramid. You cannot make anything fails. It's very important. You have the black wire who is coming out from the reactor, you know. You have to connect this with our pole number A. This is the coil outside going down. It's very important not to change it. Please don't ask me why, but it is it. So you have to connect this one with point A. The second one, no, sorry, I will make it more easy. Connector number B, this one, it's the other side of the outside coil. You have to connect with the inner coil from our capacitor. This would be also the point of mass. We define it as minus. Please be sure if you make it outside that you have a real good grounding somewhere. In my case, I will stick a great piece of iron into the earth to make a real good earth connection. So this point have to be earthed. If you have some good place in your home, maybe in the house it's working too. Maybe you can remember V12 was invented inside a house, and we have the good situation here in Austria. We have plenty of water lines here around our area. It's a very bad area for sensible persons, because we have some areas here in my own village. You can meet all the 25-28 meters some of these water lines, and for making a house it's not the best place to make a house, because if you are sensible, you have to be very creative to find a good place for your house. Well, this one have to be grounded as much as possible. And finally, very easy, you will not believe it, this one and this one are connected too, and this is our output. That's all we have to do. And now you can smile. It isn't more. What happens inside? Well, we can discuss plenty of hours what happens inside the pyramid. I think I will make another video to show you the function of the system, but now for the first it will be enough to show you that it works and that you can duplicate it, that you can replicate it. And of course we have a absolutely good theory why it's working, and we have some things to show which power you can keep from great pyramids. But now in this case, in this first part of my demonstration, it will be enough to get a little bit, to get something, because if you get some energy, you believe the rest, and I don't have too much I don't have to speak that much, because the ground system is cleared. Well, on the end, we keep our user. We will try different users on this pyramid. I hope we will get enough power to give a little bit more powerful users a chance, but we will see it. I didn't this setup before because I made it with you together on video. On these 2 points, on this point and on this point, you can keep your user. Whatever you want, a motor, a light, or something else. Well, let us connect the connections. So, as I told you, we keep this one and this one together. So we have to cut it a little bit. Don't hurt you while we're working. We need a little screwdriver, and we connect these two guys together. It sounds so easy. So I keep this kind of connection system because sometimes it's necessary to change the setup a little bit to produce the inner harmony. Of course, if everything is worked in and you know the function and you can prove the function, you can weld it as well. I'm a little bit sorry because I every time say welding, but I mean soldering. But I think you will know this. And then the other side of the coil, we told to keep on here in the inner coil. It's very important, the inner coil, and that's one of the major reasons why I use different colors on my setup. So I cannot change it, and I know, okay, this is the right thing. Sometimes it can be necessary that you need a small, I hope you can see it, of course, sometimes it's necessary that you need a small coil windings here, approximately on this point here, 2 or 3 windings with a diameter of 10 to 15 millimeters. So if the pyramid makes, what's the real name? If the pyramid power increases and decreases without any turning, without any reaction from your side, so the inside reactor is not working stable. And if this occurs, if this problem occurs, it can help you to make here a small coil with 2 or 3 windings. So most time I get some marker like this, and I will make this wire a little bit longer, make the check on the downside, and try first with 6 or 7 winds, and then I cut even 1 winding to increase the power of production. But now in this situation it's absolutely not necessary how much power we can produce. My deal here is only to show it produces something, anything, and we will see how much it will produce. And of course we have the last cable here, and we will connect it to the outer coil. That's the first part of the whole setup. So we can connect it now in a secured way. Don't do this without the metal plate on your downside, because if you do this, what I'm doing here now, it can happen if the pyramid is north properly and you're standing on a water line, it can be that you will get a little bit shocked. Well, that's all we have to do. Of course, with my manipulation here, we lost a little bit the centering. Another sentence to the resistor. I tried different setups. I tried the coil somewhere, I tried the coil on the floor, I tried the coil on the top. I'm speaking from the capacitor coil. I found out if you have an angle from the center to the floor position, you get the most amperes. I don't know why, but maybe there is something inside the pyramid, maybe there is some radiation inside producing when the inner reactor gets in harmony. And I told you the word harmony the last 2.5 hours. Meanwhile, everything what happens inside the pyramid have to do with swingings and harmony. That's one of the major things I found out. So the quartz, I think it's an explication. The quartz started to swing if you give him into the right direction, and it's like a piezo effect. Maybe you know this. The small stones, when you press them, you get a small amount of energy. And if this quartz sand becomes to get harmonic, there is some reaction to the coil, and the inner coil will get reacted, and the reaction of the inner coil will go in this system to the outer coil. And we can take measurements if we have the pyramid nozzled properly and without the metal plate, of course, I can show you the differences between the voltages in the inner circle and the outer circle. So you will find out we have an output in the inner circle about 10 to 15% of the energy we get with the second coil, the outer coil. And of course, it's a very impressive research, because if we keep some thinner cable and more windings, we get real great voltages, but we don't get the amperes we need. If we keep some thicker wire, of course we can use it, we get a very low voltage, but we get real fat amperes. So we can decide with our setup, with our system here, if we want to collect voltage or if we want to collect amperes. This setup now in this moment is a little bit a mixing between both systems. Of course, I hope to make a little bit of show effect, so I hope to get a little bit more amps to show you some real good uses, for example lamps. But I don't want to say too much now in this moment, because as everywhere in the world, things can happen in both ways. And let me say it very easy, from 50 setups I made, I had 3 or 4 real good running systems, and 45 to 47 systems with some errors I don't know till today. So it's not that case that I will make a pyramid and it will work 100%. But we will see it. If it will not work, it can be happen that this setup will not work today. I have to make it working, and if it wouldn't work, we will find out together why it's not working, and we will keep it working. That's it. So now we come to the final step, the absolutely final step, the chrome step. We try to find out. Okay, it should be a good day for us. The Lord will help us, because now in this moment it isn't raining. It's absolutely cold, but it isn't raining. The only problem is we have a real great lawn here, but the grass is a little bit too high and everything is absolutely wet. So we cannot use my 2 major points to demonstrate anything. We have to go into the small lawn. There we have 2 places. They are not the best places, but for demonstration it will be enough. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the worst case scenario happened. The weather outside is really cold and absolutely wet, and we have very dark clouds here today on Sunday, 26th of June 2011. So I decided to make the demonstration inside my shack, inside my mess, and for this I have 2 points here inside my shack where I made some tests in the past, but they are not the best places. But I don't want to get wet, and if I start my demonstration and it will start to rain outside again, because it's very dark outside and of course very cold, we have 13 degrees centigrade now in this moment, I will not help you and I will not help myself too. Well, so in this case I decided to show the system inside of my mess. What we did now, we organized to, don't know the name, you see it from the floor to the pyramid, and maybe you can see it, but I'm not sure that you can see it. There is a small white point. There are some other white points here in my mess. This will show us the existence of one of these so-called water lines in the ground of the earth. Well, please, sorry that there's a lot of mess here in the room. I did not clean that all, because I'm not a great cleaner. I'm a little bit messy. Okay, I took the pyramid in direct north-south position, and after putting it in direct north-south position, I went 2 degrees to west. A few minutes later,